Sammy is in Feltham. Sammy, good evening. What's your question?
Good evening, Daniel. Thanks for taking my call. Recently, myself and my wife received a letter from some solicitors acting on behalf of a parking firm, that we had a fine unpaid. The only thing that we received from them was only the address where this fine was sort of issued. I've checked because it's nearby to where we live, and in that place, neither myself nor my wife never ever been. So it's been issued the fine without us being there at all. Anyway, the story does not stop in there. Just a week ago, we received a letter from a county court that we've been fined in default.
Sammy. Carry on.
Sorry about that, but we've been fined, and the fine goes £289 and something.
Yep.
From which is 182 from this firm and £107 for whatever. Now, like I said, on this place, we've never been with car because, like I said, we drive both the same car. Now, we try to sort of to set aside the case. We rang the county court and we said, look, this is true, it's not true, etc., etc. And they said, in order for you to set aside the case, then you have to pay us £275, so we then can carry on and set aside your case, and then you go to another county court and then explain whatsoever. So what do you think that we're going to go ahead with these? To us, it looks that this is a scam.
Okay, Sammy. Let me ask you some questions. First of all,
sure.
When you got the letter saying you've been caught parking somewhere and you went and had a look at the site, was it from a private car park company or from a local authority?
In the private.
Right. Have you looked? Don't name them. Please don't name them. Have you looked them up?
I know.
Have you looked them up and checked they are a proper parking company?
To be honest, I don't know. Since the letter
you said you thought it was a scam. You said you thought it was a scam.
To be honest, it is because we never ever been in that place.
Okay.
It's like a cul-de-sac that unless you've got someone, a relative or something,
right.
Otherwise.
So, Sammy, some questions for you. First of all, you said you received a first letter. Was that first letter you received from the parking company, or was it from the county court?
No, from a solicitor acting on this parking firm.
Fine. Now, that must have named the parking firm.
Yes, I've got
but don't name them, please. You haven't.
No.
You haven't looked them up on the internet to check whether they're genuine or not.
No, to be honest with you, but
Okay.
look, it looks like I don't know, but I will see if it is a genuine.
Fine.
But,
let's assume it is genuine. What did you do when you received a solicitor's letter?
We replied back saying the same thing that I'm saying now. We never ever been there, and can you show us, or can you tell us some evidence to show that our car was there? And they only send us an address, or you've been parking so-and-so, and that's why you haven't paid, and the fine was issued, etc., etc.
And they haven't sent you any photographic evidence?
Absolutely not. And
right. Did you receive a county court summons before you got the judgment?
No.
Are you sure?
No. 100%.
Okay, because
I've just got a claimant in default, and it's my wife's name, no date of birth. They found this, so
normally one would expect to receive a claim form. Of course, they can go astray, and if the claim form is ignored, and clearly if your wife doesn't get it, it's not going to be responded to, then the other side can get judgment in default, which is automatic judgment. Because someone hasn't defended a claim. And you've done exactly the right thing, which is to apply to set aside the judgment. I didn't think it cost as much as £275, although I have to confess I'm not really that much up on the court fees. But I think you're faced with a hard choice here, Sammy. You either pay the £275 to get it set aside, or you pay the £289 under the judgment.
No. No, we don't want to pay that at all, because really it's a scam. And why do we have to pay for something that we never committed?
It could, of course, be a mistake rather than a scam. Someone might have typed the registration incorrectly into a computer.
Yes, it could be anything, but we never ever been there.
Okay. Have you? I think then what you need to do is apply to set aside the judgment. Now, if you can prove that if a judge believes you that you never received the claim form, and they'd have no reason to disbelieve you, and you can prove you've got an arguable ground of defence, which you would have if you weren't there, it'll be set aside. And then if you eventually win the claim, normally you'd get the cost of setting aside the judgment back from the other side.
Okay. That was my next question, to be honest.
Normally, it's not guaranteed, but normally.